Hi everyone, welcome to today's lesson. I just quickly want to talk you through your learning for today. In math, you will continue to do two-digit numbers. Basically, what you'll be doing is how many tens are in a given two-digit number. You are going to look at it and write how many tens there are and how many ones are there. You all have done an amazing work on your education city. I spent time looking at them, but I think a few people need to engage more. Maybe they really don't understand how to go about it, which is why they haven't done it. Let's start with what are two-digit numbers. Have a look at what I have here. You know what this number is. If you said 11, you're correct. What about this? 23, amazing. And over here, I've got a much bigger number, 42. You will notice that all the numbers I have written out here are numbers that have got partners. They're numbers that are not standing alone. They're numbers that are friends with another number. Over here, there is 1 and 1, which makes the number 11. There is 2 and 3, which makes the number 23. There is 4 and 2, which makes the number 42. So when we talk about two-digit numbers, all we're trying to explain is numbers that are not standing alone, numbers that have got a friend, numbers that have got a partner. Basically, two numbers. A 1 and a 1 makes the number 11. A 2 and a 3 makes the number 23. A 4 and a 2 makes the number 42. These are all two-digit numbers. Digit simply means numbers. So do not allow the word digit to make you confused. Digit simply means numbers. So if you don't want to say two numbers, you can simply say two digits. So digit is the same as number. What the task is, or what the learning is for this week, is looking at how many tens there are in a given two-digit number and how many ones they are. Quickly, I'm going to show you an example of how to be able to tell just by looking at a number how many tens there are and how many ones they are. Sometimes you have a number that is pretty large or big, and it might take a lot of time counting to find out how many tens there are in the numbers. But there is a simple way of looking at it to be able to tell at a glance, or just by looking or just by observing how many tens you have in a given number, in a given two-digit number, and how many ones you have in a given two-digit number. On my screen, I have written a two-digit number here. I want us to find out how many tens there are in this two-digit number and how many ones there are in this two-digit number. Let's sort to find out. In science yesterday, you had sorted materials into different groups. We can apply the same method here today by sorting numbers to find out how many tens and how many ones we've got. I have decided to use two color cubes to do my sorting today. But before you will look at how I have sorted them out, let's count to be sure if they actually 12 in all. Count with me, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Amazing. There are 12 cubes in all, which I have sorted into blue and pink. And the two-digit number we're working with is 12. Now, I want you all to put on your thinking caps If I had told you earlier on that we need to find out how many tens are in 12, can you think and tell me what sound does 10 begins with? Did you say t? Okay, now we are integrating phonics and math. If you said t, you're correct. And over here I have written t, which stands for my tens. For my ones, I have written O, which is a tricky word, tricky sound, because actually ones starts with the O sound, even though it doesn't sound like an O. So I'm going to have my tens after counting written under my t sound, and my ones after counting written under my oo sound. So let's count my tens to find out how many tens I have in the number 12. Please count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So how many tens do I have? Did you say 1? Yes. There is just one 10 in this group. Everything all together is 10, and that makes 110. So right at the bottom of my t, which stands for my tens, I have written the number 1. Count with me to see how many ones I have. 1, 2. So how many ones do I have? I've got just 2 ones. So right under my ones, I have written the number 2. Now if I have 1 and 2, that's the same as the number 12. So in the number 12, when I look at how many tens I have, I've got just 1 10 and 2 2s. So I can say for the number 12, there is 1 10 and 2 1s. Remember, my number 2 represents the number of ones I have. So number 12 has got 1 group of 10, 2 groups of ones, which is the same as 1 10 and 2 1s. I hope you found that easy. Let's try this together. How many tens and ones are in the number 23? Did you remember what I told you about tens and ones? Amazing, you're very smart, year 1 group. Now over here, I have written my t, that stands for how many tens I have in that number. And right next to it, I've written my O, which stands for how many ones I have in the number 23. So quickly, I'm going to put my 2 under the t. Why am I putting 2 under my t sound? Because 2 stands for how many tens I have in 23. Like I showed you in the first example, we had counted the 10 to find out how many they were. In the same way, if you use your counting cubes to make a group of tens, you will find out there are 2 tens in the number 23. In how many ones? Which is the next number after 2 that goes under my ones. Did you say 3 ones? Very good. So once you have a 2-digit number, take a piece of paper and write your tens and ones, the first digit, remember we're working with two-digit number, the first digit goes under the tens, the second digit goes under the ones, like I have done here. So what's my first digit? My first digit is 2. I write my first digit under the tens. My second digit goes under the ones. My second digit is the number 3. Now the number 2 and 3 makes the number 23. So right under my tens, I have the number 2, which tells me how many tens are in 23. Next to my tens, I've got the number 3, which tells me how many ones are in 23. So the number 23 has got 2 tens and 3 ones. How did I know that? I had written T for tens and O for ones. I have gone ahead to put my first digit in my two-digit number right under T, which represents the number of tens I have. And right under my ones, I have gone ahead to put my 3 under ones, which represents how many ones there are in the number 23. Now, once I'm able to tell how many tens using my T and how many ones using my O, then I can answer the questions to say how many tens are in any given two-digit number. Did you find that easy? Did you say it was hard? Let me explain that one more time. For every two-digit number, what I do is I write my tens and ones. I take the first digit in my two-digit number, I put that under my tens. I take the second digit and I write that under my ones. When I look right under my tens, whatever number I have written there represents the number of tens there are in my two-digit number. When I look at the number I have under my ones, that represents the number of ones I have in my given two-digit numbers. So for the number 23, I have got 2 tens and 3 ones. How am I able to tell the number of tens? I just went and looked under my tens and I found the number 2, which tells me there are 2 tens. I looked under my ones and I found the number 3, which tells me there are 3 ones under my ones. Did you find that helpful? I hope it helps. Happy learning!